Hey guys, I am going to talk to you guys about approximating and predicting probability today. So let's get started. Okay, so in your notes, you already have this written down, but there are some key points I want to make. I'm going to read this to you, kind of follow along and let it absorb. Okay, so when you're going to be like approximating or just predicting probability, there are two steps you have to take, okay? Step one, you're going to find the experimental probability of the event, okay? So remember, theoretical is when you find what's supposed to happen, but the experimental is actually after you do the experiment, use that probability after the number of trials. Step two, once you do that, you're going to multiply the experimental probability by the number of desired trials. So let me show you an example. So let's say you roll a die 12 times and you record the results. Out of those 12 times, the die landed on the number 5 3 times. So you find the experimental probability. Well, out of 12 times, it landed on there 3 different times. So this is our experimental probability. Okay, so how many times would you expect? So this is going to be a key word. Expect is kind of like us saying you don't actually have to do it, but let's see if you can approximate, like estimate what you think would happen without actually having to do the experiment. Okay, so how many times would you expect to roll a 5 if you rolled the die 100 times without actually having to roll it 100 times? Because that would be wild, right? That would take you forever. So all you have to do based on our steps here is take that probability 3/12 and you're going to multiply that by 100 because 100 is the number of trials, and it's going to give you an approximation of what it is. So 3/12 times 100 is 25. So you can expect the die to land on the number 5 25 times out of 100 rolls. Okay? All right, so bottom example. Let's do one together now. Okay, so let's say there are 8 marbles in a bag. Okay, you've got 3 red, 2 blue, 2 green, and 1 white. So that's a total of 8. How many times, and here's that word expect. So it's not like this is going to happen, but we're going to like estimate or approximate that this will happen. That you pull out a green marble if you picked marbles out of the bag 20 times. And every time that you picked one out, you replaced it. Okay, so first let's find the probability that you would even pull out a green marble. Okay, so there are 2 green marbles, okay, out of how many? 8 total. So you're not done yet. Remember, we want to know how many would we expect after 20. So step 1, you find the probability. Step 2, you multiply that probability by the number of trials. And in this time, it's 20 trials. So we're going to say 2/8 times 20. Okay. If I multiply that, I can do it sort of like this. 2 times 20 is 40. And then 8 times 1 is 8. And then if I simplify that, 40 over 8 is 5 times. So we can expect that it would land on green 5 different times.